What's up, everybody? Me and Big Mike are back again. Big Mike Raider, that is. My bad. I didn't mean to leave the Raiders out. We're not talking about the AFC today, though. Right now, we got the Seattle Seahawks plus 4.5 at the Detroit Lions. Over under set at 47.5. But first, let's recap Thursday night football. We had a day. Big Mike Raider with the first touchdown, got it right again. 2 for 2 on the season on Thursday night football. Maybe that prime time is prime for you, and we're gonna keep that going next week as well. And we did 5.5 units for the official picks too. Went 3 for 3, clean sweep. Bring the brooms out. But enough of that. Let's get into week 2 and let's do it all over again. All right, we got Seahawks plus 4.5 after a very they kind of got dismantled by the Rams. It was very surprising in my opinion. I didn't think the Rams were going to be like horrible. But once Cooper Kupp went down, I was like, it's gonna take a while for the Rams to look like a good football team, right?
Right.
But that is not the case. And I thought the Seahawks, we did our show, right? And it's not looking good for me if the Seahawks don't get this shit together. So what do you think, Mike?
First off, I'm gonna disagree with you this time, man. I think the Lions home opener, that place is gonna be rocking. They got high expectations for the Lions this year. I got the Lions to cover this game, and actually win this game by I got a score of 28-20. That's kind of where I'm going at. So just over. I wouldn't even touch the over under on this one.
Yeah, that's shaky too.
Yeah, it's a little bit shaky. But the guy I'm looking at for this game, and you kind of saw it with the Chiefs against the Chiefs week 1, is Jahmyr Gibbs. Mm-hmm. I think he's in for a monster game. I think that they're finally going to get him involved and get him involved often. I think he's, 1, going to get the first touchdown, and 2, going to score 2+ touchdowns and possibly go over 100 yards all purpose. So whatever that number is, lock it down for Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's in for a monster game this week.
Yeah, just to clarify, I wasn't saying that I'm picking the Seahawks plus 4.5. I'm just rooting for that because I need them to get back on track as best as possible. Even if they lose, like at least keep it close. If it's 30-13 again, I'm just gonna give up on my future on the Seahawks, right? Because
right.
I mean, they didn't look good at all. Geno did not look good at all. I'm kind of just looking for him to show up and play a good game. I don't feel like even picking a side here. The thing that scares me with the Lions is their style of play with this offensive coordinator here. They like to, throw it short, run the ball. They got David Montgomery now, just the bully, the bruiser. So, they could be in a situation where they keep it close just because of that's how their game plan is. You know what I mean? And, if the Seahawks are able to do anything offensively this week in the second half, then they can keep it close and keep it within that one possession, even if they go out with an L. So that's what scares me there. The over-under, I mean, you look at it and you look at the Seahawks and the Lions and you're looking at the over, automatically you're thinking it, right? You're the casual fan. Just like Thursday night with the Lions and Chiefs. It was the same thing. It's like, 2 explosive offenses. Defenses don't really get talked about much as being anything spectacular. Right. And what was that, a 41-point game? Which, we had the under for that reason, right? So I'm looking at it the same way in this game where, but I'm a little less I'm a little more hesitant to take the under outright. I'm just saying stay away from the over. You know what I mean? Because if Geno can only get 1 first down again in the second half, that over ain't hitting because the Lions are just going to start running the clock.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of cool. I'm kind of getting cold on Geno Smith in general. Mm-hmm. We got 1 good season out of him, right? And which was great. He had a good season last year. But, look at the whole body of work. Look at his whole career. He didn't do great up to the point of last year, right? We were talking about the Seahawks last year being one of the worst teams in the NFL before the season started. Mm-hmm. And Geno Smith and the rest of that team kind of shocked us. Who's to say they didn't crash back down to earth? Now, I'm not saying that that's the case. They could very well bounce back. They got great offensive weapons, receivers, 2-headed monster running back. They maybe they just had 1 bad game, but it kind of makes me think about Geno Smith. Like, did we get the best out of Geno Smith last year? Is he kind of on his way back to, kind of crashing down to earth kind of deal?
Yeah, I will say I I was betting less on Geno Smith and more on those weapons that you just mentioned. You know what I mean? Because we saw what he was able to do with DK, Tyler Lockett, and Kenneth Walker last year. They added JSN to that mix, who I think is going to be very good. They got the good tight end play as well, which is, not to be slept on there. And so it was more so just betting on, like, can he just throw the ball and just get him to those guys? Because there's going to be people open. And, he's definitely capable of doing that. We just have to see how consistently he's capable of doing it. Because even last year, he wasn't super consistent. They were winning games, but they had a semi-easy schedule, compared to some. I mean, obviously, they're playing in that division where, you got the Rams and Cardinals who were not very good at all, right?
Right.
So, and I don't even know what their record was against those, so I'm kind of talking out of my ass. But they might have went 1-1 against them or 0-2. I don't even know. But they were winning close games. It wasn't super consistent then. I just felt like, adding another piece to that offense was like, that would make them, a really solid football team. It did not look like that against the Rams last week, but who knows? Maybe the Rams are just that good and the Seahawks aren't even bad. We got to see. That's why it's only week 2. We're not going too heavy on the bets right now. We're just, giving some thoughts out here. But I mean, I see your side too. I can see. We got to see on Geno, man. We got to wait and see.
Yeah. I think. And one thing we got to do look at, let's not like bash the Seahawks 100% in the show, right? The Lions, they had a great defensive game against the Chiefs, much improved defense. But they are missing Emmanuel Mosley for this game. So you could see them kind of dialing up whoever that backup is, whoever's going against, say it's DK or even Tyler Lockett or even JSN, whoever's going to be kind of lined up, that backup corner for that receiver to kind of go off and have a big game. Is that a DK? Is that a Lockett? I mean, I don't know. We see kind of how it's kind of matched up and how people, how they match up. So in real time, you kind of want to put your bet down for that one if you're closely watching that kind of game and then kind of seeing what's going on with that.
Yeah, no, I could definitely agree. Just to swing back to your Jahmyr Gibbs, rushing and receiving is set at the lowest number on BetMGM. You can get 64.5. Just because I remember you threw that out there, so I wanted to get you the exact number there. 64.5 rushing and receiving. That looks good to me. I might be willing to stab that over there. Definitely. Yeah, I had in my notes. So last night I was looking into these games, right, and I had in my notes for Jared Goff and Geno Smith their overs on passing attempts. I wasn't going to pick both, but I was going to pick one out of them. And right now I'm trying to think of why I circled that, why I had that circled, but it's not coming to me right now. I just feel like they were going to be passing, but I think I had a specific reason for that at the time. So I'm going to pass for now and maybe make that an official pick tomorrow morning if it comes back to me on why I really thought that was going to happen.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this will
about that, though?
I don't know, kind of like help your train of thought, right? Remember last year when the Seahawks and Lions played each other, that was a high scoring gun, shootout kind of, they were going at it. I don't know what the score was. I can't remember, but it was a really high scoring game last year when they faced each other. So maybe that's why you saw it. Like, hey, they might be going for another, kind of a round 2 type of deal. Maybe that was the reason why. And very well, that could happen again. But I think this Lions defense is much more improved. The Seahawks defense, you have some improvements. They do have some linebackers that are kind of questionable right now as far as injury report goes. So you could see another round 2 of a shootout again, especially in Detroit. The dome, and you don't have to worry about the elements and things like that. So, I don't know if that helps your train of thought.
No, definitely. I think the main reason I was looking at Goff is just because of how Stafford and the Rams lit them up last week, right? You got Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua going for 119 yards each on like 17, 18 catches combined or whatever. So you're looking at, 240 yards and 17 catches out of 2 guys that most people didn't know their name before last week. I mean, if you watch football, you knew Tutu Atwell. But even if you watch football, you didn't know Puka Nacua until last week, right? He was filling in for Cooper Kupp, and he looked damn good doing it. But that was against the Seahawks defense. Now, so do the Lions just come out and attack that as well? Because they actually have some weapons, what I mean, comparatively speaking to what the Rams put on the field then. Amon-Ra St. Brown, does he go off? But in general, do they just pass the ball all day long on them? The problem is they do got that two-headed backfield, so I think I'm going to stay away. But I think that was my train of thought for the Lions, at least on that side. Geno's side, maybe I was just thinking that they're going to, maybe go down big and then have to pass for the whole second half, stuff like that. But even if you're passing the whole second half, if you can't get a first down like you couldn't last week, then it doesn't add to too many attempts. So I think I'm going to stay away for now. But yeah. That was definitely somewhere along my train of thought, somewhere along the lines of it.
I agree with you. And, I mean, as far as first touchdown goes, I really feel strongly about Jahmyr Gibbs kind of getting on the board, like, big time in this game.
I took that last Thursday.
Yeah, even with 2 touchdowns.
That was mine.
Yeah. So, I mean, as the season progresses, the chances of Jahmyr Gibbs getting on the board, to me, I think it grows, right? And I think this week you start seeing that trend. I'm not really big on first touchdown with anybody on the Seahawks, but if I had to pick somebody, you got to go with Kenneth Walker, right? In the red zone. If you're looking for something little risky, and you want to stick with rookies, kind of stay that trend, JSN for his first touchdown in this game, that might be something, but that's kind of a reach. But that's kind of where
I'm at. You're gonna get good odds on that, though.
Yeah,
real good odds, probably. Yeah, I could definitely see it. Jahmyr Gibbs, you're getting plus 650, and then Jackson Smith and the Jigba, you can get up to plus 2,000 on DraftKings. So that's a good flyer if you want to just throw a couple dollars out at that. But obviously, Mike, don't we're not going to count that against your record if it doesn't hit, because like you said, you're not super confident in that or whatever. So don't worry about it. Don't stress it. All right. Yeah. We still got your 2 for 2 on board for now.
Don't count it against me, man. If I get anything wrong, don't count it against me.
But if it hits, we're adding that to the resume, baby.
For sure, dude.
Definitely. All right. So one other thing, I think Jared Goff for an interception tomorrow is a lock. Only because of the fact that everybody's been hyping him up. He's very close to the record for consecutive passes without an interception, and that started flying in the media this week. And for that reason, I think they might have been throwing that in the media because they're going to end the streak on Sunday. So we shall see.
I saw your post on that one.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting good money. You're getting plus 135 on Bet365, plus 134 on FanDuel. I think it's worth a little shot. I'll make that official tomorrow if I want to go through with it. It's more of a joke, but I think it could happen. So we'll see.
You see it all the time, right?
Yep.
You mention it, and then boom.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm getting at. Little foreshadowing for the script. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to keep up.
Yep.
One other thing
you see it mostly with the kickers too. Like you see, he's 30 for 30 this year. He's never missed inside the 50, and then he hooks one left. So
easy. Right off the crossbar.
So
one other thing for this game. In 7 of the last 8 away games for Seattle, the fourth quarter over has gone over 13.5. And I think with these two offenses, with the possibility of it being a close game, going down to the wire, teams using their timeouts, trying to get in the end zone another time, get a field goal, extra field goal, things like that. I think that over 13.5 can hit. So that's my only official bet at the moment in this game is the fourth quarter total over 13.5. So both teams put up a touchdown and we're good in the fourth quarter.
Yep, I agree. I like that one.
But and then the only other thing that just caught my eye, and this could especially work if the game script works out of like the Lions being up a little bit and being able to stop the Seahawks. David Montgomery had 21 carries last week, and his number is set at 13.5 now, which, I mean, there's things to consider there. Obviously, we think that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get more involved as the year progresses. But 13.5 is a really low number for a guy that just got 21 carries, and that's kind of his style of game all the time anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I see a lower volume of carries with him. I mean, just because I have Jahmyr Gibbs with, kind of getting more involved in the offense in this game.
I don't see 21. But I can see 15, 16, like, you know what I mean? So,
that was
it's a real low number. If they put that at 17.5, like Josh Jacobs, I'm not even looking at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
the
fact that they set it that low, I'm like,
Yeah, I can see him with 14, 15, something like that. I can see that.
We'll see.
That might be a good bet too.
These are all things to consider. We'll lock them in on the Twitter tomorrow morning with everything that makes the final cut of the script. And see what I did there?
There you go.
Yeah, so follow us on Twitter at moo_sports, MOO_sports. Mike, you got anything else for this game?
Nope, that's about it, man.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys for the next one. Sunday Night Football, we've got the Dolphins and Patriots, so we're going to do an episode on that as well, give you guys the best bets for that game. Other than that, we'll catch you guys Monday night. Peace.
Peace.